Coming to you live from the Rove Disposal Facility. This is Optimal Play. I'm Brandon.
I'm Neelan.
And we are back for a rematch.
Yeah.
In Line of Fire Burnt Moon.
Totally. You're going to have to find a way to counter my Moss Rush this time.
Yeah. That is exactly what happened, isn't it? Yeah, so you may have seen one video of Line of Fire already on the channel, and I'd probably even recommend watching that first if you want a little bit more of an overview of the game.
Sure, yeah.
Because in real life, we only took about 5 minutes between these videos, and I don't want to repeat all that. But that game did end so abruptly and also unfavorably for me that I wanted to demand a rematch.
Absolutely. And hopefully get into like some of the meat of like attacking and
right.
the other stuff that we didn't even get to see the first time around.
Instead of just charging and taking control and declaring victory. And you're the I don't know about evil, but at least you're the greedy corporation, and I'm the hackers here. So I guess you just did what corporations do. You just grabbed all the land and. Yeah, I was still booting up Windows over here.
Right. This is thematically you fighting back against that awful oppression you just saw, me grabbing the land.
Yeah. By taking the geothermal wells in the Rove Disposal Facility,
exactly.
I guess. Yep. So we're about to get right into it. I just want to suggest that you like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. That's the only way to help Optimal Play out because there is no Patreon or anything, so we appreciate that. And also to plug that Neelan is a regular co-host of the Board Game Barrage podcast.
Yeah.
So if you like his underhanded strategies, you can hear more from him about board games there. Okay, shall we?
Right
I guess.
We should.
Yeah. So probably where I went wrong was letting you flip it last time.
Considering how terribly I did it,
it wasn't the first time. Yeah, I'll see if I can top it. Okay, let's see. Oh, there we go. That flipped, and it flipped onto your side. So
love
that. I don't know. I'm torn about, and we're putting it here where it just speaks through in the right corner. Yeah, that's been working. I'm torn about which side you actually want
in the start.
Because it's nice. It's nice to have the tiebreaker in your favor for initiative, but it's also, I think, probably stronger to go second on placing your initial unit.
I think that's probably right. Like it seems like a pretty good balance between like both of those advantages. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that makes sense.
Before we draw our opening hands, then you place a Moss A.
Yes.
In any lane you'd like.
Let's see. We have a new map compared to the last.
We did reshuffle these. Yeah.
What we got here? We got my 3s are paired with your 1s and your 2s. So I think I will put my Moss A all the way over here on the right.
Okay. Well, that's where it's a sitting duck for my units. No defense. Maybe I'll just take kind of an equivalent. No, I think I like over here where it's worth 2 points each, a little bit of defense. Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Where it works.
Okay, then we'll draw 4 cards and go straight into initiative. With ties going to you here, well, there we go. That was not a particularly hard choice. Okay, 1 not him. Okay, you keep initiative.
Okay, I will start with what feels like the fast move, which is I will take control of my 3-pointer over here with a Moss A card.
Wow. Okay.
Whoops.
So that really just provides you points, not much else.
No. It is also just like, kind of like I said last time as well. Like getting that early control means I now have a majority advantage there, which helps somewhat. Then I will play the RV Pilot B to do a Bolster B. And I think that what I'm going to do here is I will take a XED B and a Moss B.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good opener, the XED and Moss combo. Yeah. Those are both cards that we start with in our decks. And
Exactly. Now I have the ability to actually use them.
Yeah.
And then with my Moss B card, I will play that here.
Okay.
I will take interference for that.
Yes,
because
please.
I don't have an XED.
Where's your interference supply?
Interference cards. That's interesting.
How did
this happen?
Are they all in your deck?
I don't think that's what I did. It might be what I did.
That would be pretty funny.
What I did. This is really bizarre.
They're over on this corner of the table.
How did that even happen?
I have no idea.
That's so funny. Okay, great.
All right, don't forget to take one after all that. Okay.
That's there.
And that's it for you?
That's my turn.
Okay, well, I will be bolstering 6 times.
Okay.
Wow. Yeah, that's why I threw initiative, because it didn't seem important. It seemed, if anything, I'd have more information for this. And I could command with my crew chief, but this is the only card that can take some of these additional personnel. And I kind of think I want to go straight to being able to just strike you with my decom. And I will also... Yeah, I'm not so sure about this spoofer who can bolster for 1 or redeploy. At least not this early in the game.
Yeah.
Who needs to redeploy? I'm working on deploying.
Yeah, my sense was that was more of a late game card.
But I'm going to also take this Lozen that blasts. Okay. So that's that one.
That's actually really scary.
And then I have Rigger A and Rigger B, and I think I'm just going to do the same bolsters you did, but I'm doing it for both A and B. So an A and B X-Ed and an A and B Moss.
Okay.
All right, fresh turn.
It's funny how much scarier like you having an early strike is.
I just got to survive to actually shuffle my deck.
That's true. Get to it.
But yeah, when we played off camera, you got yours first, and then since one of its functions is to return the other player's copy of that card, it was really good for you. So I figured I should just jump in. That said, if you haven't used your 9 card yet, right? So you could buy yours and we'd be on essentially the same footing.
Totally.
So it's hard to say who can return the other ones.
Exactly. In fact, that might be the right thing to do, considering.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna do this.
This is tempting to do this differently. Yeah, no, I think this makes sense.
All right.
5. Okay, your advantage.
All right, initiative to me, and I think I'm gonna make pretty decent use of it here. I will, even though this is a little bit of an underutilization of an X-Ed, I'm realizing these don't show that well on camera when they start sliding off the top of the screen, so maybe I just have to overlap this a little bit. Yeah. What was I gonna say? So I'm kind of wasting its scout ability, but it is giving me majority here, which is important because now I'm going to play another copy of Moss A, and their attack is 1 stronger if I have majority. So I'm going to use the 3 value, and you have 1, 2, 3 defense, meaning I think I hit Moss B here.
Okay, Moss B is...
So just like Undaunted, you have to check your hand discard pile deck for a copy to lose if you have it.
Nothing in my hand, and I'm pretty confident, in fact, that there's not going to be another one anywhere. But let's just double check.
That'd be nice to get that off the board.
No, I'm wrong. Must be in my discard pile.
Okay.
Yeah, I've forgotten.
Well, at least I've deactivated this for the moment until you bolster some more then. My last card is an interference, so that's it for me.
Okay, I am going to play a X-Ed A over here. I'm going to bolster 2 A's, and I think that the thing that makes sense to bolster is a X-Ed and a... let's do something a little bit different.
Oh.
No, maybe not.
I like different.
Maybe not different. I'll take an X-Ed, and I will also take a Moss A. That's that. And then I will bolster again with my command card, my captain. That will be to get my strike.
Damn it.
It's important. And then I will get my Moss B back, so that he's not vulnerable.
Yep. Not as vulnerable.
Yeah.
I still have you where I want you there.
Yeah. I have to figure something out there.
Okay. First shuffle. I made it there. Without being on the brink of defeat, I think. I do have to... I'm watching out to make sure the same thing doesn't happen, because I can see here that you are overclocking a Moss A away from moving and controlling and having 6 points. So, it's not as...
It's not
far from possible as it...
Although,
I wish it was.
Yeah. I would still have to find the other 2 points somewhere, but
if I go down on turn 4 twice, I am going to be unhappy.
Let's do that.
All right, it's gonna be this, I guess.
Okay,
right? It's a 2.
5, so I will take initiative. not that I'm really actually doing that much with it, but like this is more helpful, I think, in the long run. I will play a. Yeah, I don't want you to have majority of that. So I will play my XZB here.
Mm.
And then I will use the XZB card to recon an interference.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, I should have done that first. I
That's very good.
about the drawing card thing. But anyway,
Oh, yeah, you draw a card. Yeah.
This is an interference, so I will discard
A
that.
classic recon last action. Okay, well, I have good news for me. I drew my decom so I can counter, returning your striker card to your supply.
So I lose my strike.
And hopefully I just keep it this way for the whole game where I have... But we'll see. If you keep buying it, I just have to keep... Yep. It's just a treadmill.
Totally.
It's a weird one.
It's like I can't neglect the fact that you can just keep striking me, but like I just have to hope I can get the leg up on you with it rather.
Yep. Okay, so I want to make it tougher for you to control here, I think. So I'll put my X at B here.
Okay.
And I have a Moss A. I don't think anything has changed here as far as my ability to attack your Moss. No, that's right. I lost a majority, so I can't.
Have majority, yeah.
And I can't take control. What am I doing with this? I could either deploy it, taking...
Oh, actually, I guess you could... No, sorry, I'm wrong. Yeah, because only has attack 2 without majority, yeah.
Yeah. That's... Moss is like the one card that I find... both of us have had some times playing this where we just like don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
Because I don't think just throwing it down into a location and taking interference is that appealing. But maybe that's the play. Maybe I just make sure to start contesting something else. Something like this.
Okay.
I think I'll do that. I'll take my interference.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so hard because like at least in the early game, it's like, I mean, Mosses are obviously the win condition. Like you need him, but it's not super exciting to put them out when you just get interference for it.
Right. Okay. Fresh hand.
Ooh, God, that was not supposed to go.
That was
1, 2,
graceful.
4.
Okay.
What's going on over there?
Sorry, yeah, there's one defense there, 2 points.
Sure. Yeah. Then I think that this is the card. Okay.
Okay. Well, you win because I played it. I played interference.
Okay. Let's start with a. Let's start with a Moss A over here.
Okay. Ooh. Okay. Scary.
Let's. So torn about what to do with this. I will bolster with it. I will take the strike.
Wow. Okay. The captain's bolstering.
And then I will also take the blast. So both nuclear options.
Okay.
Then with my Rob Pilot B, I will bolster B. And I will be taking a Moss B. You know what? No, I'm going to take 2 Daku Bs.
Okay. Building some fortifications.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I have an interference, but I'm not going to just discard it because I think I'm playing my crew chief hoping to command 2 into an X-Ed.
Okay.
I did not.
Okay.
But I got some other stuff, so let's see. So I'm not going to be making use of that interference. I have 2 Moss Bs, which is interesting. I could just grab control of the center, taking an interference, but playing one and then triggering it.
Yep.
But I am pretty interested in contesting you here. I think this is it. And of course I drew my rigger that can overclock A, not B. I think I'm going to play a Moss B.
Okay.
Up there in my disposal facility, and I don't have majority, so it'll attack for 2, but that's enough to hit your Moss A, I think. right?
With your Moss B there?
Yeah.
That's going to be 2. Yeah, because I have no
Yeah.
defense
You
there.
just
Yeah,
have.
yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
So I think I will attack your Moss A.
Okay, so my Moss A gets hit. I probably have one in here somewhere. Yep, one in my discard pile is dead.
Get that out of there. And then I have my Rigger A, who is just going to bolster A. You're going for the Dakus. I could follow you, or I could go for some tears and just try to be able to attack so hard that your fortifications can't save you. That sounds more fun. So I'm going to take... I want these interferences out of my deck. So I'm just going to start maybe deploying a tier and probably not firing it this turn. I'm going to take a tier A and an Exed A.
Okay. Yeah, that was the thing I was considering on my turn, which is kind of like the take one card and then know that you will eventually get the ability to control it, but
you're writing yourself a little IOU.
Yeah.
Here's all the Exeds and no interference, of course. Yep.
Perfect.
Go figure. All right.
Shuffle over here.
I mean, I thought about that too. I thought about just throwing my Moss B into another lane because I would take the interference and that would increase my odds of successful recons, which would feel good. It wouldn't actually be accomplishing anything to just recon more. But you do... I don't think I've ever seen it matter in Undaunted. It has the same rule though. But when you recon away interference, it doesn't go back in your supply. It's removed from the game.
Right.
And there's only like four in your supply. I've taken one.
Right.
I have 3 left. So it's possible to run this down and then just be able...
Actually, now that you mention that, is that right? So
did you put it in your supply?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so
actually, I think I realized
if
that.
you gain and recon so much interference, or just gain it all, you eventually stop taking it.
That is interesting.
This one, all right, it's a 6.
It's a 7.
Oh, that hurts. Okay.
So I did, I'm glad for that because I did really want initiative here because I do worry about this lane. So I'll get my Xed B out there.
Yep, good call.
I will then Xed A, my interference. Again, doing this in the wrong order, but do that and draw a card.
Your deck is really, really tight with those interferences gone.
I did just draw an interference though, so...
Well, that's good.
it.
That's good. Okay.
Did you have the Moss A?
I do have a Moss A.
Yeah,
so that was smart. And I can't attack your Xed there because it has 2 defense on top of its 3. Maybe I'll get that tier set up there later. All right, so I have a Moss A, which could stack there, could stack on either of these, could cause another... No, it can't cause a useful attack. Okay.
Yeah, you're kind of in that same situation as before, where it's like you don't have a good use for it, really, unless you deploy it somewhere.
Yeah, and I have an Xed B, but there's nothing to recon. There's no successful attack it can make. This is tricky. Yeah, it can't even like move here and attack this quite. Like because I could overclock it. But I'm not seeing the play there. So, all right, I think I'm going to bolster B, and I'm going to take a Moss B. Honestly, I'm just going to get, like, less compared to Undaunted. I don't really need to worry too much about like bloating my deck with units I don't need that much because worst case scenario I could just drop them onto the board.
Of course, yeah.
It's
fairly easy to thin down your deck when you need to, and honestly, your deck kind of just thins itself.
It does
much more than it does in Undaunted.
It does.
So,
okay, so that was Moss B and an Xed B. Okay, so that's my rigor spent, and then what are these doing? I don't want to move that Xed B. It is contesting evenly there. Probably the Xed B is just going to get deployed here. Yeah. And the Moss A, I think I need the card still in circulation. I want to be able to activate these Moss A's pretty soon here. And so, am I just doing nothing with it? That's an option, right? Can you do nothing?
Yeah, you can. You literally could just like discard it. Yeah.
I mean, I guess I could use it to unsuccessfully attack.
Sure.
Or
Yeah.
If the rule is that you have to play them.
Yeah, exactly. Warning shot.
That's what I'll do. I'll have my Masse fire a shot into your volcano,
Wow, okay,
and it'll
wow.
just splash some lava.
Sure showed
around,
me.
and yeah, you'll rue the day. Okay, I have to shuffle, and then we've got a new turn. Well, I've survived a lot longer than I did last time, so
That's fair.
I'm pleased. I'm pleased. Who is going to draw our strike card first this time is a question, and what are they going to do with it?
What can I do with that? Not a lot.
Okay, fresh initiative situation. All right, I think it's this.
Okay.
Ready?
5.
7.
Okay.
All right, I take it. And I do have my decom, so I can strike or return yours. You have there's a great chance that yours is in your hand, and then that sets you back a card, which is
Even though it's hand or deck at this point.
yeah. Because your deck is slimmer, you're drawing through it faster. Which kind of means that you will eventually win this arms race, right? Doesn't that mean that you'll eventually, eventually you will buy it back and then draw it before I can cycle through?
I think the third deck will actually end up winning. That's interesting.
Yeah. But I have to participate. Otherwise, you get a free strike every cycle of your deck, which would also be bad. But you know what else is probably in your hand? Some of your Moss cards. So maybe I just try to ping one of those out. Let me start with... I'm going to strike your Masse.
Okay. I do not have one in hand.
Dan.
I do not have one in discard.
Do you have one?
You know what? It's very possible that
Have you not been bolstering them?
Well, that is actually very... No, that there. I have one dead. Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
They're all in play.
Took it off the board. Okay.
Yeah, that's actually not...
All right.
That would explain a lot.
Essentially, by striking instead of countering, now you will get to strike me, but that felt like a good hit.
No, I think that's exactly what you want from it.
Because now I can use my Moss B to take control of the volcano here.
Yep.
2 points on the board. And that leaves an Xed B. It only attacks for 2, so it can't do anything here. I don't want to drop all my Xeds into play. Am I just doing nothing again with this card? That's so frustrating. But I don't know... Oh, I don't know if this is a good call. But I'm going to do it because doing nothing feels bad. I'll move my Xed over here.
Okay.
And now that's another place that I can go without taking interference. But I'm spread very thin. So we'll see how that works for me.
That's actually really interesting because I feel like we weren't doing a lot of that even in our first game.
We didn't do much moving.
Moving the Xeds to just secure...
But I have felt like in our first game... I drowned in interference. And so this is my way of not having to take one. Oops, I'm taking my hand too soon.
No, it's all good.
You are up.
I am going to play my counter to...
It was in your hand. Okay. You're countering.
I will
Okay,
counter,
so you're returning my copy. Okay, so my decom is back in my supply. All right.
Yeah, I'm not convinced I have a good strike this turn. Then I am going to... I'm going to blast.
Ooh, okay. So that's going to disrupt. I was searching for the word there. Disrupt 2 of my units.
Disrupt both of these guys.
Yeah,
they have to be on the same lane, so it may as well be those two.
That's pretty good.
And then I'm going to bolster, and I'm going to pick up 2 Moss A's.
Okay.
Which are going to go into my deck.
Very nice.
One I discard.
All right. Very silly turn here, I think, for me. I'll just throw that down. Do your worst. Ideally, your actual worst.
Oh, interesting. Not very helpful. Okay, great.
Okay.
5.
It's an interference. You take it.
I will take it. Okay, I will deploy a... where do I want to put this? Yeah, sure. I'll put a Daku B over here.
Nice. Okay.
Then I will overclock
Ooh.
a second Daku B.
Oh wow. Okay.
So we will start with an attack.
That's very good.
On your Moss
Okay.
A.
Yeah. So you're attacking for 3, and I only have 2 defense.
Yep.
So that absolutely hits me. I don't have one in discard or hand. Here we go. My first casualty of the game.
Okay.
Oh wait, that's a lie. My second casualty of the game.
I was worried for a second because I've taken I need to
Actually, wait. I don't feel like you've hit me. I'm wondering if that was set aside from last game.
I wonder.
probably fine.
I think that might be the case. I don't think.
Did you attack me?
No, I think I might have at some point.
Okay, it's fine. The supply of mosses is unlikely.
Yeah, I'm
like the
actually
total supply is unlikely to matter.
Genuinely unsure, to be honest. I guess it's more of a question of, do you remember?
Because the one that's set aside is not my starting one,
No.
so I would have had to deploy it.
Yeah,
and blow it
I
up.
think it's probably just in your supply. That would be my.
Yeah, that was
my
probably
best guess.
resetting from our short game before.
Yeah.
I must have missed that because I think that might have been the only casualty I took last game because you didn't have to do much to win.
And then the second thing I will do with my Daku B is I think I will just attack your Moss A again.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, second verse same as the first. Do I have? I do not have any. Wow.
Okay.
All right, we've both removed one of the other's mosses from the table. That's surprising. Okay, I do have another moss A in circulation, but all right. That's it?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, I will start with my crew chief to command, draw 2 cards. I am looking, and I think as long as I have one in play... Oh, no! Well, I was looking for an X-Ed to try to recon an interference,
no,
but you disrupted it, so all that's going to do is ready it. Oh, that's fine. But I can retaliate a little bit here. I have my Astrojack who blasts. Did you return yours to display, by the
I just
way?
realized
Yeah.
exactly that. I need to make sure I do.
It's so weird how
Yeah.
this returns. There's a lot more... I mean, not a lot more, but a little bit more than any version of Undaunted that I've played of things going back to your
Right.
supply and having to... Like, they're like consumables. In a way.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's between these two. This lets me disrupt 2 of your units at the same location. So do I want to shut down your Daku before you like fortify there, or do I want to shut down your Moss before you control? Probably your Moss and Exed here.
Okay.
These are all bees, huh?
Yeah.
Wow, you have a lot of bees. Okay, so now I'm leading the majority there for the moment. I have a Moss B. Oh, this is actually, I think, and my last card is that interference I was hoping to recon. I think this is actually a bit better than I realized because I have majority here, so I'm attacking for 3.
Right.
I'll hit your XZ A with that.
Yeah, getting, again, that early control is very good.
It is good.
Okay,
yeah.
XZ A, not over there. There must be one in my deck somewhere. It is right there.
All right, I'll take it.
Okay.
Okay. Fresh turn.
Yep.
Okay. Did you shuffle your deck there? But like since your last turn?
No.
Okay. I'm just wondering if you can strike me again. The card counting is real sometimes.
Yeah, it's definitely there's definitely been a shuffle since my strike.
Okay.
Let's go with this.
This is always the hardest decision of
Yeah.
every round is initiative 7.
7.
Oh no! I could have thrown an interference in and instead I wasted a 7.
Okay.
Oh, brutal. Okay. What you got?
I am going to... Oh, I think I did this in a way that's not actually going to be super helpful. Well, no, this might be okay. I will play a Moss... Oh, my God. Oh, my God. What am I doing here? I know I want to do this. You've not drawn your strike back, right?
It's in my supply.
It's in your supply?
Yeah.
Okay. I will then strike And I will strike at your. I'll strike at your moss beat.
Okay, I don't have that in hand. I do have 2 of them in my discard pile, so there's one of them.
Then I will play Moss A over there.
Ooh, okay.
And then I will ready
Feisty.
my Moss B over here.
Nice. All right. That's how it's going to be. Okay, well, I finally do have an interference and an active X-Ed, so I will recon that away. Oh, I have to shuffle here to draw a card. Let me think about it. Is that the order? Yeah, since I don't have any bolster this turn anyway, so it doesn't matter whether I... But, cards stay in the play in like a play area,
Yes,
right?
they do not
So
go
that
into
X-Ed
discard.
is not shuffling
Yeah.
in. Okay.
It's funny because like I feel like that's always been a weird question in Undaunted, but like they actually, I think they specifically call it out in this rule book of like, do not put this in your discard pile until after the draw.
Yeah, I mean, it matters quite a bit.
Yeah.
Okay. Drawing the card for that recon. Ooh. Yeah, it's not really what I needed. Okay, well, I'm gonna follow through a little bit with a bolster A from my rigger on taking that second tier I promised myself, and also a moss A. And then that just leaves me with a tier A that I think I'm going to add to like the hot zone there.
Scary. Don't like that.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. I wish I could have shuffled after I got that tier A, but no, I drew the bolster card was what I drew after the shuffle. There was it wasn't a sequencing issue. It was like it wasn't a misplay. It was just unfortunate. That's all. Okay. You're on a fresh deck, so you're gonna strike me again any second.
Okay.
All right.
1.
6. Okay. Finally, good guys have initiative.
I think you'll find hacking is illegal.
Not if you're hacking bad people. I saw what you. I saw the prices you were charging for that ice on Callisto. Actually, when we played Undaunted 2200, I can't remember which of us was which team.
I think we were swapped. If I remember correctly, I was the resistance, but I could be wrong.
And I was the corp.
Yeah.
That sounds right. Yeah. Okay. So I'm just trying to decide how to sequence this turn. I have an X at B and plenty of them on the board, so I can get rid of another interference, which I'm very excited to have my deck leaner of those. So I'm going to draw a card to replace that. No, it's an interference.
Okay.
Then I have my crew chief, and I'm debating whether to bolster or command with this. If I had a chance of drawing... I mean, I guess there's a world where I draw another X-Ed. That was my X-Ed A. Oh, and I've played my... No, never mind. I think all my X-Eds are accounted for. I can't draw an X-Ed to get rid of this interference. So... I'm gonna bolster. I'm gonna take back my decom. At least force you to counter it if you want to, and then and I'm shuffling. Maybe I'll draw it next turn if you don't counter it. One more of anything. I'm just gonna complete my tier suite before this shuffle. I think it's time to get aggro. All right, your turn.
You have a lot of those out. Yeah. Okay. I will start with a command. If I did that, that would.
I've taken my turn. You can talk. You can talk freely.
Oh, yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I'm trying. If I attack with my moss, what does that situation look like? You have defense 4 over there, so I can't pull that off.
Right.
There's not a whole lot I could do there. Even that attack doesn't go through, so there's not a lot of good attacking I can do here. I feel like I'm in this weird, very weird, like, can't attack you at all zone. Okay, I'll do the thing
that can't attack you at all zone.
Yeah, exactly.
Been there.
I will do the funniest thing first, which is counter your
strike. Oh, come on. Well, all right. At least basically I used half of my bolster or 2 from that to stop a strike.
Yeah, I'm not convinced that there's a good way to use an overclock this turn, so instead I will play it as a bolster. Bolster A. And I think I will pick up my Xed and a tier.
Okay.
Okay. Then I will... I think this Moss A card is just a warning shot card. I don't think there's a lot I can do with it.
Happens.
So
You can throw it down here if you want to recon.
I won't be doing that, thank you. Then... Yeah, there was a world where this could have been a much better turn, but I think I kind of there's not a whole lot I can do with this. But I think that I'm also going to just throw away this Moss B card, which is a bummer.
Wow. Okay.
Because this Moss B also could not attack anything productive, right? No, not a whole lot good I can do this turn. Do I just move it over though? You can have 2 points there. I'll just be picking up 1.
I'm a ways from taking control of this because my Moss isn't active.
But yeah, I don't think I want to concede majority there at all. Okay, no, that's it.
Okay. All right. Well then,
weird bad
fresh
turn.
round. I gotta shuffle. So are you. Okay. What do you think of the whole strike and counter thing? I feel like it needs one more moving piece. Like there should be one other personnel that counter can be used on, so that you can at least only counter one of the two per time through the deck or something.
I think it's a fun and funny system, even if it's undercooked. To the extent that I'm like, I'm okay with it as is.
Because it ends up just the result a lot of the time, unless we're playing it wrong, let us know in the comments if we should just be approaching them differently. But I feel like I have to spend half of my bolster on my bolster 2 to get it back. Which interestingly is keeping me from commanding, which is giving you some good turns.
That's true.
But I feel like I have to do that to keep you from striking whatever you want.
Totally. It definitely just seems...
it's so hard to claw your way out of that pit.
Yeah. It seems like you obviously don't want someone to be running away with a strike for the whole game, but it does leave you in this awkward position where you are just spending a large amount of time and effort just stalemating it effectively. But I also think there are times I've had that card and I've been torn about whether it's countering versus striking.
It's a tough call, but the problem with not countering, I think, is that then you put yourself on the back foot where I can counter and have you in that position, and so that's a big step down in kind of position for that one strike.
Right.
But that strike could set you up to win the game. So, anyway, I'm gonna put this in for initiative, I think. Right.
That seems.
What was it? No, I'm gonna put this one in, I guess. Okay.
Interference.
It's a 5.
Okay, yours.
All right. So, like I was saying, I think I got to bolster and take back my decom. The one thing I could do for a leg up there is buy this spoofer, who isn't the one other card that can bolster that.
Sure.
And then it's not. Then I could bolster with this and command this.
Yeah.
I think that's it. So I have one more bolster. Sure, I'm gonna try that. I'll take her. And then what's left is I have a Rigger B that I think I will use to overclock Moss B for some more carnage here, I think, because that's working for me.
Yep.
Because I'm attacking for 3, that can hit either of these. What am I most...
I feel like I should... Yeah.
So what I should consider is not just what's likely to be in your hand, because it deprives you of an action, but what is best for me to deny you. And I think it's Moss. I think I'm not worried about your Xed. So, first of the 2 actions, I'll attack your Moss A.
Okay, it's not in my hand. It's going to be in my deck somewhere.
Damn. Okay. Second, then, the question is, do I do it again? Try to remove it? Or do I attack your Xed and try to hit a card in your hand? Let me glance at your supply. Oh, all the Xeds are out of your supply. Okay. I've hit 1. Yeah, I think that's just so disabling if I hit your X at A again. That's pretty rough for you. Yeah, I'll attack X.
Wait, do you have the attack to be able to do
I,
that on the
oh, I don't have
set?
majority.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even realize I didn't have majority. So I'm only attacking for 2, which did hit the Moss.
Yeah, you can hit the Moss, but not the X.
Thank you for checking me on that.
No
Yep, nope. Okay, so then I'll hit Moss A a second
okay,
time.
well, yeah, I mean, that is going to be my last Moss A.
I was very torn on what to do there, because the other thing I could have done with that overclock was moved this left or right and controlled it.
I think, honestly, yeah, even without, like, your hand being forced, I think Moss A was actually maybe the right call, because I am now... My Moss A units is effectively like a blue.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you have none left in the supply.
Yeah, the only one I have is the one that's on the board, so...
Oh, yeah, so that's just sitting there. Yeah, just taking up board space and nothing else. Wow. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right, I feel good about that. Your turn.
Okay, I am going to start with... I thought I knew what I was going to be doing, but now I'm not so sure. I think I need to be doing all of the following. I will bolster B.
Okay.
In order to pick up my 2 Moss Bs. Is that what I want? Yep. Then I'm going to bolster. No, it actually doesn't feel that important anymore. This was more important when I had the Mosses to protect.
Yeah, you just picked up your last 2 Moss Beats, huh?
Yeah.
So I now can start the countdown to just winning on attrition.
Sure, yeah.
Interesting. I'll see what I can pull off. And you've beaten me twice now. Once off camera, once on camera. True. So I'm due. I'm raring to go.
What is this bolster going to be? If it is in fact a bolster, I think that it's going to be it's going to be a bolster. And I will take, I'll take the XZB.
Okay.
And I will take the Blast card.
Yeah. I was just realizing, like, I should maybe have grabbed mine. That Astro Jack.
Then
good.
With Daku B, I will do a fortification.
Oof, nice. Fortifying where you already have 2 defense, totally, but it's also another like presence for majority.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, mind you, this lane you've kind of let me hold this lane without any reason at this point, because I still don't have control of it. But anyway.
Yeah, you don't have control, and it's only worth 1 point to you.
Exactly.
But you are successfully very much depriving me of 3 points.
For sure.
Okay, new turn.
Okay. Yep.
Okay. Oh boy. Okay. Let's do that.
I don't know. I feel like whatever you have going on over there, but I'm going to do this.
Okay.
7.
That's a 1.
Okay, great. Love it. Awesome.
It's to you.
Okay. I am going to... Can't do that. That is a 1 against... Yeah, that's not going to happen. Okay. We will start with a XZA here.
Okay. It's so funny how little attention we paid the middle lane.
Yeah. Then I will play a tier here.
Ooh. When did you take tiers?
At some point I took a tier, I guess.
Oh, you just have the one. Okay,
yeah,
that's a little less scary then. Yeah.
Can't do anything with it.
I'm a little surprised there's not a personnel that is like a wild activation.
Totally.
That is like just
hey,
activate one row.
One guy. Yeah. That is actually very surprising. Then I'm going to, with this Moss B, I'm going to just add it to this lane here.
Wow. Interesting. Okay. Eventually taking control.
I mean, I've got to at some point, right?
You would think.
Okay,
yeah.
That's it.
Okay. Well, I woke up today and chose violence.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So I'm going to play a tier A.
Yep.
And this is attacking for... I currently have majority here.
Yeah.
So it's attack for 4 plus, and this was a weird enough rule that we looked it up when we played off
Yeah.
camera, but it counts its own.
I guess so, yeah.
Like, so this, it's a little small on camera, but that icon means that the tier buffs the attack when it's ready. It buffs any attacks that I do in that lane by 1, and as far as we can tell, it counts itself. So it's attacking for
itself,
5,
yep.
which is plenty to, I think I just go for that Moss B. And at this point, I'm close enough to winning on violence that's what I do. So I'll attack Moss B.
Yeah, I don't know that there was a lot I could have done to like protect that, unfortunately. But yeah, so I will use a Moss B in my discard. Yeah, the tiers, especially if we are playing that correctly, the ability for the tier just to like demolish is nuts. But I mean, it's artillery, so that's what it's for.
And
right?
it doesn't. Like, that is actually not a time... I wanted to do the attack math correctly, especially to play... Because we're, people are watching this, but it didn't matter, right?
No. Like, exactly. Even without majority, you had...
Your attack being 5 instead of 4 doesn't matter all that much. It could matter over here, where you have 3 extra defense, yeah. Anyway, I am now going to overclock another tier A.
Okay.
So, I'll attack your Moss.
Yeah. I think this is looking like a bit of a decimation of the Mosses on the side. That's 6 dead. No, I lied. 7 dead.
7, across the 2 forces.
Yeah.
So I think now your 3 remaining Mosses, your 3 Mosses in play are all that you have.
Which is very bad.
Yeah. And I still have 1 more action on this, so I think I'll just clear this one out.
Oh my gosh.
Because I overclocked it. I went twice.
Okay, well then, that is...
Yeah, this is why I cackled when I drew this hand. Because I had 2 tiers and an A overclock.
Yep.
I was just like, the only thing that can go wrong is if you... well, even if you had gone first and struck that or something, I would have been able to overclock it once.
Exactly. You were supposed to use it.
I mean, I think the only way you could have kept that from happening was getting rid of that tier earlier than this. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, well, that was a good round for me. And I'm shuffling, so maybe I'll draw a tier. Oof. I don't know what I would do in that case. Like, the annoying thing...
I guess that's the point.
Is I don't know how to clean this up. I guess I should reasonably well... There are certain hands of cards I could get that could take out that Moss A. It's this Moss B behind all these walls that, like, I don't know how to kill it.
Right. And it's interesting because it's like, I don't want to be in the position where, like, I'm just in a, keep my Mosses alive game, but I don't know what I can do with them at this point either because I can't activate them. So...
You don't lose if your only Mosses are disrupted, do you?
I don't.
Because I was wondering if the blast would be one way to close out. What I'm just like, we haven't played any of it out, so I guess I can't say I'm frustrated with yet. But I'm, it just looks like I'm so close to winning, and it is so hard for you to come back from, and also hard for me to close out.
Right.
In a way that is.
What I'm wondering. Is it even possible for me to win at this point? Because I can't activate my Mosses anymore, which means what would I would have to
you would have to destroy all mine.
All of your Mosses.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess
that's the one. That's your one route to victory. I think is protect at least one Moss while destroying all of mine.
Oof, that seems hard, but okay, yeah. No, that's
it does. It does seem hard. I will grant you that.
Your strike is in your supply. No, you have your strike available.
I do have it available. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's all scary.
Okay, well, I guess I will put this into initiative.
It would have to be that, so I think I will just do this.
Okay.
4.
6.
Okay.
Okay, so damn it. I misplayed there. I kept this XZ B thinking that I could attack you here, but I don't have majority, so I'm only attacking for 1. What I can do, I guess just to keep more or less annoying you, is play another tier A and hit your XZ-B.
Yep.
So, give me a casualty from XZ-B, please, if you have one.
Not in hand, not in discard.
I think you should have one in your deck,
I definitely must have one in my deck, yeah. Do I have another XZ? Do I have 2 XZs on the board?
You do,
I do, yeah.
Okay. All right, so that's that. I was hoping to knock a card out of your hand, but what are you gonna do? Yeah, variant, and the force cohesion thing is tricky here.
Yeah.
Where I can't like.
You can't combine.
I can't like work this exit over there or anything.
Yeah, it's interesting. You can't. Yeah, you can't move it here because it's a. Yeah, that's very very weird little situation. There. I guess, but you do have that redeploy card, so you could use that to do something like that.
Right. Yeah, like that's what I would have needed in this hand to like get this there and then have majority.
Right.
Or even just a Moss B card to be able to move over. I could have taken out your Moss A, but it didn't quite line up. What can I do with? I have an XZ A and an XZ B, and I'm not sure what value either of them has here. Do I? This is safe from your Moss A at least. It's got a lot of defense. Should this one just get out of there? You have a tier there. That's probably all right. I'll play the XZB and just move this back here, I think.
Okay.
And the XZA. It just seems like a mistake to do anything with it. So I think I will just discard that card and pass the turn.
Okay. This is the awful decision we were talking about, where it's like I have the Counter Strike card, like unsure whether it's like playing it as a counter just delays your strike, which seems right, but it also doesn't get me closer to winning.
Right.
But I do think that my best chance of winning is going to be going all in on like Assault. So I think for the time being, I will just counter.
Okay. I think that has to come out of my deck then.
Just to like give me the opportunity to.
It was a couple hands away.
Okay.
All right.
I'm going to bolster 2 tier A's.
Ooh, okay. You're joining the arms race.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, on the bright side, your tier A is not lined up with any of my units.
Yeah, that's the awkward thing as well, where it's like I'm not even entirely sure that I can get it there. Yeah, tough.
Okay, it's a new round. What am I going? I mean, I guess. Well, no, I was gonna say if I'm struggling to close out this game, I could actually start thinking about control points again.
I mean,
but
it would be
currently you have your scariest forces are on both of the threes, and you can't.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, you can't win without a 3. yeah, you definitely need at least one of your 3s.
Definitely.
Well, you can't win by that, victory condition.
Yeah. Yeah, the only way to win it with 3 controls is with both of your 3s, in fact.
Yeah. Huh. Okay, I will play this for initiative, I guess.
Oh, all right. Let's see here. Good reason to do that. Who can say? I also need that for sure.
That's the thing, is you always need all the cards for sure.
I guess it's this.
Okay. 7.
9.
Whoa, okay. You took it.
I want to do this before you can do anything with it, so I will blast.
Ooh, nice.
And I think that if I am thinking about this correctly, you can attack with your Moss there, which would be bad for me. You can attack with your Tier there, which would be bad for me. Can your Exed attack me? Not just yet.
Yeah, there's not much that can be done there.
So I will disrupt both of these.
Wow, okay. Annoying.
I will bolster 2 tiers, tier Bs.
Okay.
And then I will move my Daku over to the right here.
It's a lot of aggression. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, that's -1 defense for all your stuff. Which I guess that still puts them at +3. Yeah. Jeez. Okay.
And then by the lost is out.
Okay, it's to me?
Yep.
All right. Well, I have a Moss A that's just going to ready my disrupted Moss A.
I feel like he's been out of commission for a while.
Yeah, I really had been. I think I used a Moss A for initiative last time through. Moss. Oh, actually, yeah. Because you disrupted my Moss B, that's just
Okay.
gonna ready as well. And that leaves me with a tier A. So time for more violence. It's attacking for 5, so I can hit
Yeah.
whichever. I think
Let
I
me
think
about
that
that. You might not be able to 3 plus 1. No, you can hit both of them. Yeah.
because I'm attacking for
Yeah,
5 total. Yeah.
Yep.
So that is one where buffing itself mattered.
Yep.
But I think that Xed is pretty between being disrupted and I'm not even sure you have a copy left to ready it. So I think I hit the Daku. Yeah, so I'll attack the Daku.
Okay, that's for my discard pile.
And I've never, literally never once used the shock ability on one of these, but I don't know. It feels pretty good to keep.
Yeah,
killing
attacking
you.
feels. Yeah, I think that the upside for it would be like, hey, quick disrupt, take control, like that's.
Yeah.
Like
if you're gonna combo it
can be
with,
very.
it can set up a
clutch.
big turn. Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, you can very much in this game, much like Undaunted, kind of like your opponent doesn't even think you're that close to victory,
Right.
and you draw the right hand of cards and
And
just
you have
bam.
it.
Yeah,
exactly.
Oh. Speaking of drawing the right hand of cards, all right.
And your strike is out still.
Strike is out.
It's like I'm always afraid that that's like coming.
It would be nice if it wasn't out because it would sure be a good way to close out the game. Okay. 7. Okay, so I could strike you this turn. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try because I am gonna use my spoofer to bolster my decom as the strike ability.
Okay.
And then I will use my crew chief to command 2.
Okay.
And I simply have to draw it.
I think that's right.
It's as easy as that. It's just like a 2 out of 10 or so chance. I would love to get that Moss B out of there and just be one step away from closing it out. But if you just have, if I don't draw it and then you have your counter in hand, I'm gonna be sad. It is a command 2 though, so there's also one other thing happening here. I didn't draw it.
Ooh.
Yeah. So what I have, let's see. So those are played. What I have is an interference. Well, oh wait. Great. I have an Xed and an interference, so I'll get rid of that. I think that's my last interference until I take more.
Okay.
So I'll draw a card to replace it. Still not my strike. Damn. Okay. Let's see. Let's take a look over here at your Daku. It has a defense of 2, 3, 4. And I have majority there. So my Moss A can attack for 4, right? 3 when I have majority, and +1 from my tier being there.
I think that's right, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't see... Well, I guess the other thing my Moss A could do is actually control this. True. Yeah. I keep forgetting that I don't control that point. But I think that like my path is clear here, and it is violence. So I will attack your Daku B, and here's where you tell me you have one in hand.
Do not have one in hand. I must have one more somewhere here.
Or maybe you have one in your supply. So actually, this might
I guess
come off the board.
I think that's just dead. Yeah, you're right. Actually, that is exactly it.
Okay, I'll take those. And then I have a Rigger B. Nothing for it to overclock. So it's just bolster or withdraw. Like if I want to get rid of this disrupted Xed, I could, but I think I'll just bolster here. I mean, yeah, if I am ever going to entertain winning on points, I'm going to need more Mosses. So I'm going to bolster for 2 Moss Bs. Okay, that's my turn.
How many? What's your casualty situation on Mosses look like? I've only killed 3 of them. Right?
You've just killed 3. I am down 2 A's and a B.
Okay, so I still have a long way to go here. Okay, the path to doing that though is to. Sorry.
I know. I have a bad habit of it's a deck building game. End of your turn, you draw your next hand. That's what I always think I should do.
I am going to overclock my tier A. I'm going to move it over and then attack your
Okay.
Moss B.
So it's attacking for 4,
Yeah.
but I have 4 defense, so it hits. Nice. Okay, I have a Moss B for my discard pile, so
Okay.
that's up.
And then I'm gonna counter your strike.
Yep. Okay.
I mean, I think I have to do it, as obnoxious as it is.
Yep. It is like that's like the word I would use for that mechanic at this
Yeah.
point. It's pretty obnoxious.
Yep.
I don't.
So here's where I'm kind of like where I think the intent is, and we kind of covered this a little bit earlier, which is like whoever has the thinner deck is going to draw that more. So maybe there's a little bit of a catch-up mechanic in there.
Meant to. Oh, that's interesting.
Because I've taken a lot more casualties than you have.
Because you can have a deck by a thin deck due to
just
decisions or due to
or just to being me and having
a victim.
half your supply in your casualty pile.
It's a very good point. That might be
that's
exactly what that is. That doesn't make it not obnoxious.
No, you're absolutely right.
But that's a good point. Yeah. Okay.
It does. I mean, it certainly seems to be, if that is the intent, working as intended, right? Because I've been able to use it a lot more, but I also desperately need it more than you.
Right. All right. 6.
Insurance, yours.
Okay. So it's another Night of Violence. I have 2 tier A's, and I could overclock one again.
Okay.
So I'm trying to figure out how to play it, though. There's no way that I can get majority over here, which is what it would take to hit anything. Like if I were to move it.
So let's just make sure we have that right in defense. So anything here would have a minimum defense of 5.
Yeah, and what I care about is that Moss B.
Yeah. So you would need majority to be able to attack.
Yeah, so that's frustrating.
Yeah, that does actually feel pretty weird in a way that's like it'd be really hard. Like I'm effectively turtling this moss right here.
Yeah,
it makes it really, really, really hard for you to hit. But you'd have, I guess, if you overcommitted, you could do it.
It's like weirdly the one way for me to close that out is with the strike card.
Well, that's exactly it.
But because as you're, whether it's intended or not, I think you correctly identified that right now it's sort of behaving as a catch-up mechanism. But that's just keeping the game going.
Yeah. I'm not sure I love that, but
So where I'm at is I just have all these tiers that I could.
Oh, I guess like now that I think about it, right? Like I mean, there's a mechanic to getting rid of these fortifications. You could get like a Daku strike going there.
Good point.
So.
The problem is I feel like if I deploy something here, it's a sitting duck.
Sure.
Like Daku's would, especially because I have 0 built-in defense
for what
here.
it's worth, I can't even activate this moss, and so all I can attack with is next ed. So.
Oh, I also don't think you can attack with an next ed.
That's
interesting.
Yeah. So
I could just start migrating over there.
Yes.
Interesting. Yeah.
I have very little ability to attack you at all except with tiers at this point.
If I don't kill this, it forces you to waste time withdrawing it, or you can never move stuff in there. Yeah, maybe that's the play. It doesn't feel nice. I gotta get some tier B's going too, and just drop some here and attack. Okay, decision. Because I can And the force cohesion is so annoying because I can't make my way over here. Is it worth moving here, taking an interference to clear out that XZ A? I think those are also I think just taking up space right now for you.
Every exit I have is on the board, so I can't activate them. Yeah, all of my XZs and mosses are effectively defunct.
What a weird situation we're in here.
I'm actually more and more surprised by the lack of a activate one wild card.
Yeah, that feels like what.
And especially like say
really benefit from.
Yeah, on the command card, for example, like the captains, like that would be
it would be
place for it.
A big trade off. Yeah, or I was gonna say or on that 8 personnel that you can buy, but it could even do a wild and that returns it like blast. I'm also kind of surprised that that icon for returning it is only used one time on that one card.
That's true.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm dragging my feet here. Let me just I think I need to come in there. I think I need to do what it takes to kill your last mosses. So I am going to I'll just deploy a tier A there, taking an interference. Okay. And I will I'll overclock a tier A. No, I'm just going to move it.
Okay.
And then I'm going to bolster with this. I'm going to take... I'll take 2 Daku A's because I kind of just need something to throw down to try to get majority there. Okay. All right. I'm sorry. That was like way too long a turn. All right. You are up.
Okay. I am going to strike a tier A.
Of course you are. All right. Well, I have one in my discard pile, so there it goes. Well, now I can't activate them.
Right, which is kind of funny, but
yeah.
There that is. Then I'm going to overclock a tier A, and I'm going to start by shooting your Moss B over here.
Oof. Okay. There's one from my discard pile.
I'll do it again.
None in my discard pile. There's one in my draw pile. Wow, so that Moss B is shut down.
That's my turn.
Woof. Okay.
So, may I see your casualty pile in there real quick?
Sure. It's all mosses. You have not...
it is all mosses.
Oh, that's a lie. There's that one tier A you
yeah,
just got.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of mosses.
Yeah, so 4 Moss Bs and 2 Moss As in the tier. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right, this is the hand. This is the one. This isn't the one.
You sounded so confident a second ago.
I know. I was. Well, it could be the one.
Could be.
It could be. I will play this for initiative.
This might be the right thing. I'm not sure.
Okay.
9.
6. It is to you.
Okay. I am going to start with a tier A.
Oh boy. All right, Moss B is gone.
Okay.
That's terrifying.
It's the last couple of turns I feel have been a really big, not quite swing, but like it's helped. It's certainly helped a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. Then, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to be bold. I'm going to...
Bold?
I'm going to withdraw my XZB.
Ooh, okay. That's bold. You can withdraw 2 Bs if you want. You want to pull back your Moss B?
I think I might not. Although, mind you, getting it out of there and getting it somewhere else away from your tiers is...
It's actually not the worst idea, yeah.
No, I won't be doing that. But I will... I'll be done with that.
Okay.
And then I will... Man, I think I'm just going to do nothing with this card. God, that feels like such a dumb turn. Am I dumb? Should I maybe do that? Nah, that's fine. I'll stick with it. I'm done.
Okay. I will start by reconning away that interference I took earlier.
Okay.
That worked out. Drawing hopefully the best card. It's not a bad card. I'm going to ultimately need to withdraw one of those tiers if I want to use them, which is very frustrating. I don't have the cards to do that though. So am I shuffling this? I still think that like striking your mosses is the. I just like it just comes down to luck. Like it's just trying over and over, hoping that I can buy it at the end of my shuffle, and then get draw it before you can do anything about it. Also, buying it stops you from just striking me, which has I'm starting to feel the pain. So, so I guess there's nothing. I guess the order doesn't matter because I'm not drawing any more cards. I'll go ahead and use my crew chief to bolster. Okay. I will take. I'll take this decom and I'll take a Moss A. And then I have a Daku A, which I think goes here.
Okay.
It can eventually demo that fortification of yours. And so it's a 3-step plan. I have to demo the fortification.
Withdraw a tier.
And then play the tier.
Perfect. Yeah.
Easy as that.
What could go wrong?
Actually, right now that I have the majority, I'm giving up the majority if I withdraw the tier. Yeah. Man, maybe I should move the Moss A over there and just take the 3 points while I'm at it. But I just don't see how those points matter.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
It's like it feels like the points game is over for both of us. To some extent. I mean, it's much more achievable for you, but like
it's just kind of this battle of the mosses.
Yeah.
Okay. And I feel like at this point I'm like on a timer where you're gonna win with those strikes if I don't find a solution pretty fast. So, sure. Ready?
7.
Ah,
Okay.
damn it! You win the tie.
I'll do it. I think I have to do it. I will strike your tier A.
No, that's so mean.
Yeah.
All right, the tiers are done.
Pretty much. Given that that was like a crucial part of your 3-step plan,
Yeah.
it felt necessary.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I think I will now play a. Oh no, I gotta think about this because you would have majority. That wouldn't be enough to do it actually. Yeah, sure. I will play a tier B to here.
Oof.
And then that's my turn.
Okay.
I will take interference before it, but yeah.
Oh right, because you don't have a ready unit
Not
there.
have a
Yeah.
ready unit there.
That's nice, at least. Okay. I wish I could strike you back since you struck me, but it is. I think I bought it recently. It's in my discard pile still. Maybe my next hand. All right. So that tier has 4 defense. No, 3 defense.
3
It says
defense.
it's buffing
Yeah.
its attack. So I think I just got to knock it back out of here. As much as it just continues our
You
spinning
can do
wheels.
it. Oh, I didn't
have a
think you were
Moss
able to do
A,
it.
and it will attack
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
That's.
You don't have
my
a.
part.
Oh, don't forget to put it in
no,
casualties.
I'm so sorry.
Yep.
Also, let me just double check that I don't actually have another one. I'm pretty sure I do have another one actually. Now that I think.
Yeah, you might.
Yeah, that's just bad play on my part. I thought that was not going to be able to be happen. Okay, I have one in my deck, so I will remove that. Let's put that over here. Shuffle that.
What I wanted to do was take control with that, but you forced me to address that. I felt like. Okay. There's no reason for my Xed to be here facing your B, right? Oh, shoot. To redeploy it, it has to be ready. Damn, well. It's frustrating, because while it's locked down there, it's just going to cause me to lose my other copies of it.
Sure.
Well, I have a Daku A. I think I will go ahead and demo your fortification. Yeah.
It's destroyed.
And I have my spoofer to bolster 1 or redeploy. Not a lot of reason to redeploy my Moss. Well, yeah, actually, the chances of you bolstering tier B and then getting to use it to attack my Moss before I can deal with it are non-zero. So I'd probably move the Moss A over here, where it can try to clean up those 3 points, and then I can figure out what to do from there. So I think that's the play with my spoofer, and that's my turn. So fresh turns, right?
Yeah.
Are you shuffling?
No.
Okay, good. I don't have to worry about the strike. All right. Then the question will be, do I strike you or return yours? Yeah. If I draw it, we'll see. Actually, that is, yeah, you're not shuffling. Okay, so you won't be countering it. But that doesn't mean I have mine.
Oh man, I don't love you moving that moss away. That hurts.
That it hurt was what I was going for. All right.
3.
6. Oh, hey.
Yours.
I didn't necessarily expect to win that. Well, that moss is going to do good work over there because I can. My Xed can't. No. Oh, I didn't. Ooh. Okay. I just realized I surrendered majority over here, or we're tied. But yeah, that Xed A it's in a scary spot. Okay, but let me. I'm gonna play a Moss A, and I will overclock it with my rigor.
Okay.
So the Moss A, with the +1 from the tier, has 4 attack to destroy your Moss B, right?
Yep.
Okay, that's huge. So that's gone.
Oof. Yeah, that's massive. Yeah, I think pulling things out of that lane was maybe pretty silly in retrospect.
And then and then I overclocked it, so the other action it's going to take is to take control here, just to keep that pressure on. So I have 4 points. I still need two other
things, yeah.
2 other lanes. And my last one is an XZ A. So question is that one fine there? I think probably long term, if I win on points, it's going to be by migrating these over here. So
Sure.
I want it there to kind of scout the way. So I think I pass on. It'll attack.
Yeah.
It'll what do XZs do? They probably have puny little laser beams that just bounces off your tier. Yeah. Okay, your turn.
Okay, I am going to start by bolstering B to take a tier B.
Okay.
I will not
Scary.
be picking up my Daku B, so I'll just leave it at that. Although, yeah, it's interesting. It's not the worst idea to pick up a Daku. Yeah, I'll pick up a Daku.
You've taken almost your whole supply.
I mean, yeah, it's pretty. It's pretty bad.
You've sort of. I think one nice thing about. There's a lot of nice things about how many casualties I've inflicted on you, but one of them is it's forcing you to stop commanding so much because you have to keep replenishing.
Right. Exactly. Okay, then I will play a XZ B to.
Ready that.
Ready that. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for.
Or I think that's the word.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And then I will use my. Is there a good reason to do this? Sure, I will use my tier A to attack your XZ.
The XZ B here.
Yeah, XZ B over there.
That's just annoying. Do I have any XZ Bs left? I do. Okay, so one's coming out of my deck. Honestly,
yeah,
that increased my chance of drawing my strike.
I realize in retrospect, actually, maybe not a smart move either. I've thinned your deck in a way that doesn't help me.
Yeah, it's a little counterintuitive. I guess the flavor of that can be like, well, I have one less thing to think about, so I can focus on these other things. But yeah, the idea of like you just increased my chances of winning by by successfully attacking me is a little weird.
At the same time, though, like you are gonna need XZs to like get across to these lanes, but actually no, not XZs Bs actually. So yeah, maybe not.
Okay, we'll do that. Okay, 7.
Nice.
All right, it's to you.
I will counter your strike.
Damn it! It was in my hand.
I knew it!
That's why I went all in on initiative.
Yeah.
This would just win the game outright.
I thought that had to be. Okay. Thank goodness. Thank goodness.
So mad.
Thank goodness. Oh man. Okay. I will bolster 2 Daku A's, I guess. I have the weirdest deck. I don't even know that it's capable of winning me the game at this point, but that's my turn.
Okay. Yeah, I guess. So I have left in hand after returning that decom. I just have a tier A and a Masse. So I guess I just start marching over. It lines up my Masse with your tier, which I'm not happy about. And I think you have one copy of that in your deck.
Yes, I have one somewhere.
Huh. But I do have a few Masses left, so you're not gonna end me with it, I don't think. Famous last words. All right, you know what? I don't want this game to keep sitting in a stalemate, so I'm gonna do it whether or not it's the objectively right play. Okay, so moving those over. That's my whole turn.
Okay.
That was a rough one to lose initiative on because that was the game on the line. My deck is thin, at least. You've thinned it out.
Yeah,
Thank
it's weirdly.
you. Yeah.
I think we've switched positions a little bit.
You've taken a little more interference.
Yeah, I've got more interference. I've been like bolstering stuff I probably shouldn't have been, but yeah. Oh, I'm not drawing the cards I am hoping for here, but that's okay.
All right. Whoops. You didn't see any of that. All right, ready? 8.
3.
Which, since I knew you used your 9 and you haven't bought your 8, yeah, I knew I won that. So.
Which is actually, yeah, now that you mention it, knowing that this is the second highest initiative does make it a pretty valuable card.
Yeah, I'm not sure that its actions are as good as its initiative.
Yeah.
Although a redeploy here could have been useful too, especially because I have a Moss A in hand.
Okay.
So I hate to be slow, but I think it's got to hit your tier B because that card might just be in your hand. So, and I have majority, so it's attacking for 3, and it's buffed by a tier, so it's attacking for 4. That's enough, right? Yeah.
That is enough. 3.
So as I make a mess over
sure
here.
about this.
It's just 1, 2, 3, right?
1, 2, 3, that's
yeah.
it. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so I think I attack your tier B.
Okay. It is in hand.
Oh, good. Okay.
And that's effectively disabled my tier B.
That's a relief.
I think there's a world where this could have gone very, very differently if I had had initiative first.
Yeah.
Which, makes that...
Because if you had knocked that Masse out of my hand, as well as one of my cards out of the game, you're right. That could have been...
because
that could have been big.
For what it's worth, I have the overclock B as well. So it was going to be a double
hit
strike
it for
with
2.
It. Yeah.
That initiative might have saved me.
But actually, I mean,
but then after last turn, or last round, you won initiative, and that saved you.
That's true. Yeah, exactly.
That's just the story of things.
But it's also like it does sell like the value of just having a second really high initiative card in your hand, right?
For sure. Okay, I think I have a Daku A.
Okay.
I think I just bite the bullet and put it here, so that it's that much easier to move my Masse over and have majority. I take it an interference.
Okay.
And then I have my crew chief, who probably just has to bolster my strike card back, but I really want to command. I guess if I was going to command with it, I should have not saved it for last. So I think it is. I think it's my decom and my astrojack, my striker and my blaster. All right, you are up.
So all I have is an interference and a RRV pilot B, and it's hard to know if there's anything useful I can do with that because I can't bolster B anymore.
Oh, there's no more B to bolster. Wow.
I can't overclock B. I could withdraw both of my people from the lane. That feels like a bad idea.
Yeah.
So I guess that just goes to my discard.
Brutal.
Basically a null turn.
Oh, and that's it because I blasted away your other card. Jeez. Okay. Well, another turn. I
think that this is pretty rapidly heading towards your victory, I think, at this point.
What it's feeling like.
Which I think is honestly, like, if anything, I had just been playing delay for most of the game, so it seems
at least for the last pretty big handful of rounds. Okay.
6.
7.
Okay, yours.
Okay, I have a rigger and a Masse, so I will overclock it. Okay. I will take control of here. And
puts you in 6 points.
Puts me at 6, and I will move it over here to the 3-point location that would be all that I need, but I don't have another activation of it this round.
Okay.
I do have an X at A, so I guess I might as well have it just follow, because I don't think you're ever taking a control point again. So why do I need to defend that? There. Too many cards are falling off camera again, but there we go. Okay, that's my turn.
Okay. I am going to move my tier A over here.
Oh, I forgot that's an A. Yeah. Uh-oh. Do you have you don't have another copy of that,
I do not. I mean, why not? I'll play a Daku over here. And then I will strike your Moss A.
Ugh. All right. It's in my discard pile.
Okay. That's it.
Okay. Well, I still have at least one left in circulation, right?
And
yes. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So all I need to do on this, I'm reshuffling. If I keep initiative, I just have to have my Moss A to control or my strike card.
Yep, and then that's it.
So I'm drawing twice from this new deck, and 2 of those cards win. Again, assuming I win initiative. So, initiative it is. Why don't I put in... Actually, not an easy call.
I mean, if I do that, that's just doing nothing, so I'll just do this.
All right, ready?
It's a 4.
6.
It's yours.
Yeah, but I don't have the cards I need to win. What I can do is blast you. So I think I will blast you here and just turn off that tier A for now. Yeah. And, that's returns to my supply. I'll just put it there now. And then I have a tier A. So I think here, I don't... care much about hitting these. Daku B, I think, is the only one that's useful to attack,
Yeah.
and I think I'd rather just move it into the kind of final arena.
I'm actually not convinced you could have attacked anything here because you have.
Oh,
you could have had both of those. Never mind. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I didn't have majority, so I would have
But
been
then
attacking.
you'd
I would have been
tied
attacking
on-
for 4. Yeah,
4 would have been enough.
Okay, that's my turn.
Okay.
Oh, and interference was my last card. Yeah.
Sure. I'm gonna just draw 2.
Okay, that's scary.
Then, you know what? There's not a whole lot I can do here, so I won't be doing any of it. Well, I guess I should just play this out, which is I'll play a Daku over here. Not that that's going to do a lot for me. I will. Yeah, I'm not going to do anything with that, so I will just be done.
Okay. Then, this has been like the 5th consecutive round that might be the last round. All right.
I need to hit you twice more. Is that right? To win on Mosses?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So it's just a race to like who gets the hand they need first, I suppose.
Right.
But no, I don't think this is it.
Okay. 8.
7, yours.
Yep, I have a Masse, so I will take control.
Yep, there it is.
That's 10 points.
Oh, man.
And finally, the win.
Wow, that was grueling.
In this afternoon of playing Line of Fire on camera, we have played the world's shortest and then the world's longest game.
Yeah, totally.
How are you feeling about the game at this point? We've now in one pretty much session, we've now played it 3 times in a row.
Totally, and I think that we've actually had like 3 very different experiences in all 3 of those games, right? Because the one we played off camera kind of felt like the desired point.
I think so.
Unfortunately, which is like it was kind of like it was tug of war-ish. It was a bit back and forth.
I still felt like it was a little.
It went a little bit long.
Yeah.
I will agree. This felt like an exacerbated version of that, where it went to basically as far as it could. Like this was my supply.
Yeah, your supply was
it's
those
like
3 cards.
1, 2, 3 cards. So like I had
one of which
next
keeps
to
returning
nothing.
over.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I had next to nothing I could do short of delay you until I got the strikes and the things. Which didn't feel great, I'll be honest. Like, it didn't feel like that was a great position to be in, where I was kind of just trying to crawl myself over the finish line. I guess, like, the only thing I would say is that you could have probably got into a position where you were taking control sooner, maybe.
Quite possibly. I think I got a few of your mosses early,
yeah,
and then I sort of zeroed in on that being the strategy.
No,
but yeah, maybe if I had done that pivot back to points sooner, I would have pulled it off. Yeah.
I think maybe at the point where we recognized that this was going to take a long time for you to kill, it's almost like you could have tried to get tempo with the control sooner.
Yeah,
but it's still. I mean, then it would have turned my delay game different, right?
And the force cohesion thing, like it makes the A and B thing like kind of meaningful, other than just what cards bolster what. But the fact that this had a single B card sitting in it was what made it so unrealistic for me to take this control point, which kind of meant that where this one was so defended, even if I couldn't kill that moss, I still had to go take the control point then.
100%.
And so it was just going to be a huge project either way.
Yeah, it's interesting because it's like, you know, we were talking about some of this a little bit like after the first game, where it's like there's the interesting element of Undaunted here with, you know, that initiative system is like, that's the draw of the game for me.
Yes.
Like that's everything.
Yeah, that's like the lifeblood of it.
And this is, it's preserved.
This has that.
Like all the most crucial turns
100%.
felt like they were hinging on initiative. But at the flip side, the actual card game kind of feels like maybe a little bit more like stalematey. That it feels really hard to like make big plays and have them be impactful like they are in Undaunted.
I think that summarizes my main frustration with it, is that other than the game where you crushed me so fast, both of the other games had points where we just felt like we really hit stalemates, and the game's mechanics where you put down you only have 3 copies of most of these cards available, and as soon as 2 of them are hit, the third one just sits there,
which is so weird if you think about it. Like especially that number being 3, it's like either deploy 1 and activate it twice, or deploy 2 and then it's easily functionally destroyed.
It's like very odd. I don't know if maybe I do think that because 8 points is hard to get, the alternate win condition of the moss killing, even though that's never how our games have ended.
Yeah,
I don't think.
yeah.
I think that's still good to have there, but maybe other than the moss, things should go back to the supply when destroyed, or something like that.
Right, maybe.
Or
like we said, just have one card that allows you to do a wild activation, just to ease you over that problem of being like, okay, well, I only have 2 of these out, but at least I will occasionally get to use them.
Yeah, it's just very hard to do what you want to do.
Yeah.
And it's a deck building game, so you're only somewhat in control of executing on your plan, and then it's so easy for your opponent to disrupt it because all they have to do is go overclock something that can hit the unit you wanted to use, and that unit is gone.
Yeah, exactly. It leads to a lot of these positions where you have cards on the board that are just non-functional, and that is it's hard.
And they can even be in the way.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, and I think it's also weird that a disrupted unit. And I mean, I guess that's why, what is it, your rigger or my riggers, they have different names on the 2 sides. Symmetrical factions, but different names in ours. I guess that's why you would withdraw, and maybe that's something that I should have considered doing sooner, to get rid of this XZB. But the fact that a disrupted unit kind of sits there as just a huge target to be shot at and to get the cards out of your deck that way, it's real weird.
I guess that's a good point, right? Which is that when you're in that situation that you have 2 non-functional units on the board, you withdraw one of them, and then you get one of them back, right? But
it's really what I kind of wanted to do in the late game there, and maybe I didn't have to, because I still had some tier and Daku Bs I could have bolstered for, but I almost wanted to have B off the board altogether and be playing with just A.
Yeah, sure.
And I think, I don't know, can you hunker down personnel in this game? Yeah, so I could have even gotten rid of my B rigger and then not had to worry about that. And maybe my mistake was not doing that, but I would have liked you to just destroy these.
Sure, yeah. No, that's interesting. It's almost like that. Maybe that would have been, you could have got there a lot sooner. I think if you had just entirely disbanded Force B.
So maybe that's what I should have done. And you can't. The only way to do it is with that withdraw.
I guess you can always hunker down every card.
But you can't hunker them down out of play.
No,
so you have to take a lot of time to play one of your best cards just to withdraw. To return it to your deck, then draw it, then hunker it down. It's a lot of wasted card plays. So that's why it never felt good appealing. But it might have been the right play. I enjoyed this because it's Undaunted adjacent, and I really enjoyed Undaunted, but I don't think I liked it as much.
Yeah, it's tough. I wonder, I never want to be position of what would I change to make this work, because I'm sure every thought we've had is one that they've had 100 times over. But it does feel like it's one twist away from being just Undaunted the card game in a way that feels as good as those games.
Yeah, and I guess Undaunted because that stalemate issue, I feel like it needs something to push through a win.
Yeah.
But Undaunted kind of doesn't have that either. Undaunted can get a little stalemate too.
But Undaunted does have the thing as well, right, where you can, even if you're on the other side of the map, you can just do that Hail Mary pot shot.
Oh yeah, you can shoot at any range and just roll 10.
I'm going to that feels sometimes silly in Undaunted, but it does let you get out of these positions where there's just nothing I can do with this guy.
Just roll 2 dice and hope to roll 10. Yeah, that is true. And it's much more. Maybe that feels more pronounced here because the outcomes are all deterministic.
Right, exactly.
That you just can look at the board and see I don't have a route to deal with that. I don't have a route to get over there.
Right. Because that was the thing I feel like we both were saying a lot, was that often you would draw the Moss A card or what have you and be like, well, I can't attack with this, I can't move it there, I can't take control, so I guess I'm not going to do anything with this card. And that feels like it was happening more often than not.
You would think, and I can't remember that ever happening in Undaunted.
No, exactly. Where cards just felt entirely worthless when you pick them up.
Right. Yeah, weird one.
Very weird, but interesting.
Definitely.
I still like a lot of what it's doing, and I guess part of the question I would have is would I ever want to play this over Undaunted? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I will say, and I've got the box right here, compared to any version of Undaunted that I'm aware of, much more travel friendly, totally. Bring it to a friend's house or a bar or something, or in luggage way more easily. At the same time, I think that its theme makes it a harder teach.
Sure.
And if you're teaching someone who's not played Undaunted, we picked this up very quickly because we both played quite a bit of Undaunted. It would be harder to get people to grok, I think. Like, what are these things? What's happening?
Dakus.
I think that, like, compared to Undaunted, if I were to take this on a family vacation and teach it to my dad, like, I don't think he'd be as into this as the actual war theme.
Right.
So yeah, it's like it's a cool thing, and I don't know where it fits into my kind of like gameplay choices for what games I play going forward.
But yeah, I'm still intrigued by it to the extent that I'm curious to like, you know, try iron out maybe some of the. I'm curious to talk to more people that have played it to be like, okay, what is there something we're missing with like the way that these cards interact in a way that's. What are like the big things we weren't doing that maybe would alleviate some of these issues?
Right.
Like that's something I'd be curious about.
And if you've made it this far in a video of a long game and you know what we were doing wrong, we'd love to see the comments. And then maybe I don't expect us to probably be playing a standalone 2-player game more than the twice we already have on camera, but I would love some tips to kind of be able to get this to the table and be confident that it will be a 45-minute game more often, right?
Totally.
Like that's I think that's the big obstacle for me to like taking this to Guildhall or something which is a local gaming bar, is that it would be great for that if it's 45 minutes and when it's 90 minutes, like not so much.
Exactly. It still feels too long for pared down.
Yeah. And especially because the box says 30 minutes on it. It does make me wonder, is it just a playstyle thing? Did we not identify the way we should have been approaching it differently from Undaunted that would have, other than last game?
Exactly.
Where you just rushed 8 points and it was over before I knew it. Well, this was a lot of fun. And I know we were maybe more negative than positive there, but we just spent all afternoon playing this and I had a great time.
Totally, absolutely. Yeah. I guess it's also worth saying that, like, given that Undaunted is both of our favorite games, like we're going to be more critical of like something that's like sort of doing something similar because you can't help but compare.
The expectations were high.
Exactly.
Were high, for sure. Yeah. And I mean, I bought this from Osprey Games website just like as soon as I learned it existed. I was just like, more of something that's Undaunted-ish and more from it's David Thompson and Trevor Benjamin. Is that their names? Yeah, I've got the box right there. Yeah. I bought it on that alone, and I'm not. I don't regret it, but I don't like it as much as I like Undaunted. I guess that's just where I land.
That's pretty much it.
Yep. Yeah. Yep. Cool. Well, thank you for the game.
Of course.
Appreciate it. Thank you for watching. You can catch Neelan on the Board Game Barrage podcast.
Yeah, we have a podcast. Is that what we decided?
So we just had the plural of podcast.
But yeah.
So is this making it into your top 10?
Easily. It'll be like skirting the edge, like 11 or 12.
There we go. Yeah. It's an elite club. Do you have an Undaunted in your top 10?
I know. So
I know you really maintain your top more than 10.
Yeah,
like 50 or 100.
We do our top 50 every year
on the podcast.
On the
I bet you track more than that though.
I do, but like it's only the top 50 I really take seriously. I sort of treat everything below that as kind of like occupying this like mass like below.
Okay. They're all tied for 51st.
Yeah, exactly. But I think that I usually make a point to keep like one game of like a franchise or a type. So Undaunted Stalingrad is the one that I think is like the definitive.
I think it's the correct
Undaunted
one
for me. So that's in my top 50. For sure.
Yeah. And then on the flip side, are you less likely to put similar games in? Like that's a strike against this kind of.
Exactly. That's kind of the idea. Is that like, hey, Undaunted Stalingrad represents what I'm getting from that style of game. So
So when Undaunted Stalingrad is high on his list, you can know that Line of Fire is
exactly. It's like exactly neck and neck.
All right, well, we've gone on for a while, so we'll get out of here. See you on future videos. Till then, be optimal.
Bye bye.